Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about taking recovery one day at a time and how the experience can be when you are day to day living with OCD. Because it's really important to take the recovery literally one step at a time, bit by bit, because it's a gradual process. But before I go on, please subscribe to the channel. Please comment on this video, like this video, share our channel with your other fellow anxiety sufferers if you think it will help them. And yeah, pop in comments below and ask us questions if you want. I'd love to answer them and talk to you about it. So, when we are starting to work on recovery, we get really overwhelmed thinking about the different changes that have to be made to our routine and the amount of work that we have to put in, right? So, in one of the real talks that we did recently on the channel, which was called the Recovery Toolkit or the Toolkit for Recovery, something like that. Me, Nick, and Sam, we talked about the different aspects and the different tools that are required to recover from OCD. And if you see that video, you'll understand that while there are like three, four things that are very much set in stone that need to be changed, however, at the same time, there are so many moving parts to it that we don't even realize. Small things in our daily routine, small things, small actions that we are doing on a daily basis, different philosophical changes that we need to make, the how we need to change our outlook, how we can work on acceptance, and it's a broad thing. And trust me, I mean, I know how it feels when you start to learn about how to recover. It can feel like there's way too much that needs to be done. So how can you how can you even like recover when there's so much in your life that is just out of place, right? So what happens is either people don't do anything at all, or they want to recover as fast as possible and they want to find a quick fix or try to force acceptance and just be done with it like in a week or like a month or something like that, which obviously neither of these are very constructive productive approaches to recovery, and it gets us nowhere. And what ends up happening is the fear cycle stays in place, and we're still looming in our fears and our anxiety, and nothing shifts. So instead of coming to that standstill, how can we really, when we say take it one day at a time or one step at a time, what does that really mean, and how does that constructively actually look on a day-to-day basis? Now, when you're working on recovery, don't think of the next, like, oh my god, the next month or the 2 months, how am I going to be able to do this? Because that is exactly that kind of like very long future, thinking about the future kind of mindset. That is exactly what's going to make you feel very demotivated and very overwhelmed in the present moment. So consider the 24 hours that you have, only the 24 hours that you have when you wake up, right? So think of what changes can you make just within that 24 hours. Don't think about yesterday, don't think about tomorrow. How can you better just that one day, right? What are the things that are in your control per se? What are the things that you can physically do? What are the things that you have the capability to do differently, right? So this does not include your feelings, by the way, because we cannot do anything about our feelings in that moment. We cannot forcefully change them. We cannot force ourselves to feel happy. We cannot force ourselves to feel not anxious. And this also doesn't include our thoughts, because we cannot really control our thoughts as much as we'd like to, right? So, but what you can do differently are your behaviors and your actions. Those are the things that, because feelings and thoughts do not physically chain you to behave a certain way, or they do not take away your physical capability to move your body. You can do that by your own will, right? So, and of course there's a separate thing to be said for um, what if I don't have the will to move, and what if I'm so demotivated, or I don't have the confidence or the bravery, which I have struggled with. And I've spoken about demotivation in a few videos, but I can also cover it in a new video. But that, of course, I mean, even if you're feeling demotivated, really push yourself to still do the tasks that are needed to be done. So what are some things that you can take into consideration while you are making those changes just within those 24 hours. Look at what compulsions you are doing, for example, right? So that can literally be anything. From the moment that you wake up, either you're like, I don't want to have coffee because that will make me more anxious, or you think that I want to have coffee so that I'm more energetic in my day, and that I have more mental presence at work. Or you're having the exact same breakfast every single day, because this is for people who, for example, have a fear of throwing up, or they have a fear of certain foods making them anxious. So they want to keep things just very like same every day, and they don't want to make any changes, right? Then checking your phone for messages and notifications the moment that you wake up, or the first thing that you do after you brush your teeth or something like that, right? That's the first thing you want to do, so that you can catch up, or you can see, oh, did that person send me a message? Did my significant other or something, did they message me? Did they say I love you? Or did I reply to them? Or if you have false memory or real event OCD, you might be checking your messages the first thing you wake up, just to make sure that you didn't say or do anything last night that you didn't want to, right? Or like maybe a thought popped up about like, oh, what if I didn't check that chat very properly, so that you start doing that. It can be anything and everything. Then when you go to the bathroom in the morning, maybe you're doing some cleaning compulsions, right? Of like how to specifically, a specific way of brushing your teeth, a specific way of washing your hands, or again, it can be really anything. Or in the day, in those 24 hours, are you staying in bed too much? Are you using too much social media? Are you Netflixing on your couch or on your bed too much? Are you really sticking to a lot of comfort traps? Are you taking the same route to work or your university, college every single day? Because a lot of people sometimes don't even want to take a different route. They want, sufferers really like sameness that way. They like that they have set um, certain molds on a daily basis, or systems, their own systems that they would really want to follow, right? So that can also be taking the same route to work every single day. Then when you're interacting with people, double thinking those conversations. What topics can you say? What topics you want to avoid? What conversations you don't want to be a part of? What words can you say? What words you don't want to say? Like, it can be like a whole thing where it's with friends, colleagues, loved ones, then messaging people for reassurance, right? People you want to get that relief and comfort from. Often our parents, basically, our partners, we want to message them and ask them for, is this okay? Am I this? Am I that? All that stuff. So the amount of compulsions within a single day are just endless, right? I mean, not endless, but there are many, right? There are many, many compulsions that we're doing on a daily basis, right? So the only reason I went through all these kinds of examples, because they touch on different themes and different fears and different sorts of activities that we have on a daily basis, that where we are functioning in a very comfortable, compulsive way, right? So just to give you ideas of what you can be doing, obviously there are compulsions that are way more than just what I just said, right? So in all the list of compulsions that you're doing on a daily basis, which ones in these 24 hours, again, speaking of taking things one day at a time, what compulsions can you give up in just these 24 hours? Or what compulsions can you at least bring down from level 100 to maybe a level 70, right? What compulsions can you bring down, again, just within these 24 hours? Keep aside what it will make you feel or not make you feel, because you're not already feeling that great anyway on a daily basis. You're already feeling anxious, you're already feeling sad, and you might be feeling very hopeless. You might be feeling anxious, angry, frustrated, um, all these negative emotions that come with suffering from OCD, right? So you're already not feeling great. So be prepared for like not being able to control your feelings or your thoughts, right? Just focus on the actions that you can actually change within these 24 hours, right? Let whatever feelings come, whatever thoughts come up, let them come, let them be there, right? Let them come on, bring them on, because until and unless we do not go in with the approach of being able and willing to experience the discomfort, we really don't make any changes to our routine ever, really, right? So yeah, what is the one thing from these, let's say, compulsions that you can change or that you can cut down? or that you can hold back on, or maybe you can even delay, right? See which one is it, which one can take you further to the next day, right? Again, 24 hours, remember that. Then think about the reading list that we recommend, right? So, are you avoiding picking up a book from the reading list? Are you staying away from it? Does it feel like too much as well? And there are all these sorts of reasons that we come up with. I can't concentrate. It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel too tired to do it. My attention span is not great. It's too much to read. I'm not a reader. I only do Audible. Don't do Audible. A lot of people come in and say that, oh, yeah, I ordered the books on Audible. Don't do that, because it's very different from when you're hearing something to compare to when you're actually reading it, and even like maybe underlining certain parts or marking certain passages that you think are important, right? So are you, but and the thing is, again, the books or whatever kind of recovery work or perspective changes that you're trying to do will not happen overnight. And everybody knows this logically, yes, but people still don't believe it, and they still do not adopt it as a mindset that it will not be done and over with within a day. People still want that. People still want that if they're reading 5 pages a day, they want them to make sense immediately. They want to feel that relief. They want to start thinking rationally. They want to start accepting immediately. But again, take it one day at a time. Read 2 pages, read 5 pages. Even if it doesn't make sense, that's okay. You are still, it's a gradual process. You are building it one day at a time. If you were able to understand everything in one day or like 5 days or like a week, then probably university degrees wouldn't exist. I mean, the reason that degrees exist or school years exist because your knowledge is built on a daily basis. They only think about like school. Actually, it's a good analogy to take as well. Like schools, universities, colleges, they think of that one day. Okay, we have this one day. What lessons can we plan in this one day? What are the concepts that we can teach within this one day? They look at only that. Then it's like, okay, we've done this, we've planned this for the, I don't know, 10 hours, whatever the time frame is of the 10 hours of the day. This is what we've planned for the lessons and the classes. What is we can do in the next 10 hours in the following day, right? So that's how it's built. And that's how your knowledge is built, because the first day, things might not make sense. You might not understand the concept. You only understand the concept when you have more lessons of that topic, when you are able to have more conversations with your teachers, your professors, with your class fellows, when you're able to solve various exercises of homework, and when you're able to do different projects, thesis, all that kind of stuff that you do. So it's a step-by-step process through which you actually learn. It's the same with the books on the reading list as well. They might not make sense immediately, but they might make sense maybe 1 month down the line, where you have read the book every day or every other day, little by little by little, to try to build that knowledge, right? So again, thinking of the 24 hours, can I read 5 pages? Okay, maybe they made sense, maybe they didn't make sense. I'll read the next 5 pages tomorrow and see if that makes more sense. Then in the next 24 hours, okay, 5 more pages. Does this connect to what I learned before? Am I trying to understand it a bit more? Does it give me any new kind of insights, right? So most things in life, most insights in life, I would say, most lessons in life don't come within a day at all. Even if you think about general life lessons, general wisdom that you collect on a daily basis, it doesn't come within a day. It comes over time over various days, right? Sometimes even years for some things, by the way. So then, like, what else can you consider within those 24 hours? Are you resisting the boring task of, for example, disputing your irrational beliefs? Because nobody wants to pick up a piece of paper and a pen and be like, okay, I'm going to write this down. Especially when everything is so digital these days. It's easy to type things out or like tap them on your phone, and that's it. Writing things out or reading is like something that people feel immediately tired of. They cannot concentrate. They feel like, I don't have the patience for it or the slang for it. However, it does become, number one, a great exercise in frustration tolerance, of course. So within those 24 hours, you can work on a disputing exercise, not just to see what perspectives you can consider, what new perspectives you can consider, but also to build a little bit of that frustration tolerance within those 24 hours. Maybe from a level 0 or a minus 20, I would say, you might come up to minus 10. Like, who knows, right? Again, giving yourself that chance, only seeing and considering that what is humanly possible and what is logistically possible within those 24 hours, right? Um, so when we say take it one day at a time or one step at a time, it's not just a throwaway phrase. It's not just a thing that people say just to make the other person feel better or feel calm, right? It genuinely is an actionable philosophy and an actionable kind of recovery plan that you can take with yourself to start to work on recovery one day at a time. And these are just some of the small aspects that I've mentioned, right? Compulsions, reading the books, disputing, these are three very key components, right? However, if you really then start to consider your life structure, the healthy habits or the unhealthy habits, in fact, that you're doing, right? What comfort traps are you still in? What are other avoidance mechanisms that you are in? What are you like? Are you putting off your dreams and your goals? Are you not working towards them? Do you think that, oh, it's going to be too much? I have OCD. I can't go through with this. There's so many reasons we do not pursue things on a daily basis. And it doesn't have to be like big career dreams, by the way. Like for someone, something that they really want to achieve in their day can be driving 20 minutes away from their house to that one specific unique ice cream place and getting that flavor that they once had 2 years ago. I mean, I would say even that is a goal. And because as OCD sufferers, we really put off even the little joys of our life. We stop indulging, we stop doing things, and we're like, who wants to do that? I'm too tired to do that. Stuff like that, right? So, even putting that in your goals of what daily goals do you want to achieve. Today, I want to have that amazing chocolate that I haven't had in a while. Today, I want to maybe start my Excel sheet of what my business plan could look like if I ever to work on one, right? Okay, today, if you're being, let's say you're at work, you're not being as proactive. What can I organize myself just within again these 24 hours? What can I do in my working hours to perhaps be better at work? A lot of people, because they have anxieties at work or a work related anxiety or fears that come up, so that can happen. How can I, within these 24 hours, how can I better spend time with my children instead of avoiding spending time with them? How can I better spend time with my partner instead of like running away from them and running away from the prospect of like a conversation or feeling love or not feeling love, whatever the fear is. So as long as you make that effort on a daily basis, as long as you keep consistent with the efforts that you make for yourself and for your mental health, those are the ones that count, and they pile up to and they compound over time to give you really, really good results. But again, when we say take it one day at a time, that means literally take it one day at a time. What are the things that you can do, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but just today in the 24 hours? And see where that philosophy takes you, see where that approach takes you. Maybe it might lead to some great results, right? It did for me. So I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what other topics you want me to cover, and I'll be back on the channel very soon. Bye.